Hey everyone, Airborne Phoenix here, just letting you know that the popular Wasteland mission file that was in Arma 2 is now been ported over to Arma 3 thanks to the guys over at 404 Games. The mission file has been ported over to Arma 3 the Arma 3 Alpha's map, Stratus, and while there are certain little things they have a problem with, like when the server starts, all you can hear around you is about 12 choppers falling from midair and crashing and exploding. So the spawns haven't been fixed yet, but the server is up, the servers are up, the mission file is out, and people can actually host these servers. My friend, this what you're seeing in the background is Joshy hosting the server after he got into the 404 one. He managed to get up the mission files, host his own server just to check it out for himself because the lines were massive for getting into a 404 one that was hosted by 404 Games. By now you'll see we've come across the first problem I have with the game, or with the, not the game so much as the mission file, or Wasteland for Arma 3 anyway, on the alpha. I've come up to this quad bike and I'm here trying to take the gun. It doesn't quite work. What I've learned from the game itself, I think I've only been playing this for a while, and as I've said, the thing's only been out 11 hours. I can click and drag the gun to the slot I want to put it on, or I can right click and it will go into the slot itself. So when I'm looking at this gun on the quad bike, it's not quite going in, it's not doing what I want it to. Yeah, I can grab in all the other things. I later figure out how to get around this on the current state of the alpha Wasteland, but it's inconvenient and it's not great. Basically you have to grab it, put it on the floor, then pick it up on the floor into your body. Or sometimes you can grab the gun. I noticed this was in the pistols regard. You could grab the pistol, put it in your bag, then put it on your body. That would work, but you cannot grab it straight from the thing, which is a problem right now, and I'm sure it's something they can easily fix. Again, it's only been out a little while. I've been hoping this would happen on Arma 3, but I didn't think it would happen so soon. The mod is only, or sorry, not the mod, the alpha has only been out for something like 9 or 10 or 11 hours, and already the guys over at 404 have managed to port the mission file over to Arma 3 Alpha. I'd have a feeling that this is what the guys over in Bohemia had a plan for, that because there's not really a whole lot to Arma 3, the Alpha version anyway. I know they plan on adding patches and stuff. That's why they let modding be away with it, and like, because now people can create their own mission files and put it out in Armaholic, which I've also gone through and had a go at one or two missions they put up as well. It's very fun. It's given me more reason to play the game beyond the single player and the already given multiplayer features. So I'll skip on a bit here in the footage that I got, and we get to our first proper four-wheeled multi-person capacity vehicle that we find, and it has a gun on top, and it's from the game, from what I can tell. The mission file that I played with the guys, or not the mission file, but the thing the mission file that we got from Armaholic that I played with my friends, we acquired one of these vehicles, so I can only assume that it's actually in the game. It's a fair assumption, I'm sure. But I got to properly try out the physics of how the vehicles work now, because they work a lot different from previous Arma 2, and of course the Wasteland mod, or mission file. Both, it's a mod now on Arma 2, but since it's on Arma 3 now, I think we can expect great things from it, because no longer is going off-road such a pain in the ass, to put it fucking bluntly, to be honest. In Arma 2, if you drove off-road, you like instantly dropped 40 miles an hour depending on what vehicle you're in. If you're in a red car, you could be going like 100 miles or kilometers down the road, and next thing you know, you go off-road for a split second, you might be down to 20 kilometers in a matter of seconds. You can see this guy goes absolutely apeshit and bombs it off the road, going all kinds of speeds, nearly flipping the car. There's no more of this just hitting a rock and it stops instantly sort of business. I'm here having a laugh with the lad, talking to him in side channel, saying, "Are you going mad, Charlie? Bombing it down the field instead of, there is a road, you know." But hopefully this will add a new element to vehicles in Arma 2, or sorry, not in Arma 2, but in Wasteland. Because in Arma 2, you would drive on down along roads, you would never expect a vehicle to really go through the forest unless it was a proper, say, I don't know, a tank or something along those lines, something that was decent through off-road. You would always expect vehicles to follow the road because it was much faster, but that's not the case anymore. Apparently the physics are decent and you can indeed just plow through the forest if you like, as long as you can take it. Okay, so skipping on ahead once again, I'm going to show a little bit more of the car physics. As you can see, that quad bike, I don't know quite well what happened to it, but it ended up back there and exploded somehow. But the point I'm leaving this in is, the reason I'm leaving this in is, as you can see, the front left wheel is actually gone off this vehicle, yet it still remains on road and can travel. We quickly ditch it for this blue VAR off-road right here, which, because we may be able to keep going, but we were a lot slower, so we just quickly hopped in this. And another quick little nice little note, this is not what I was going to say, but as you can see, the driver looks like he's dead right now. That's just a glitch with how it is right now, same as the getting the guns from out of the inventory of the vehicles. It's not quite there yet, but I'm sure it will get there eventually. What I was going to say is, in Arma 2, you come across a similar vehicle like this. You could not get in the back, but now you in fact can. I'm not quite sure how many it can hold. I don't think it would be totally unfair to assume it could hold 4 in the back and 2 in the front. Yeah, I don't think it's entirely unfair to assume that. It looks like you could fit one more behind him there, as long as 2 on the opposite side, so that's always a plus. So jump on a short little while and Kelvin decides to go on a bit of off-road rampage once again in the new blue truck, because he's hell-bent on breaking the wheels on this one as well. Pulls a handbrake. He called it a handbrake. I don't know if there's a handbrake key or not. Don't ask me, I wouldn't know. But we come across these two, fuels my theory of the choppers falling over when they spawn and crashing and blowing up. As soon as you heard the mission file start, you could hear it. It was just massive explosions all around you when you spawned. But yeah, that fuels my assumption. And then we just spot that little bird over there. There was like, oh wait, we can get in that one. Run on down to it, hop on in it, and I'll show you what the island looks like from the skies. So we quickly went and picked Josh up before we started exploring the island, really. And what happened was we discovered like that the island was mostly low-lying with valleys and lapping hills, pretty much, with the occasional excuse for a mountain. I wouldn't call it a mountain, really. It's just an elevated plot of land. So there is quite a bit of forests on these hills, and a lot of foliage, lots of places to duck and hide. It should make Wasteland pretty interesting on this map for the time being once they work out the quirks. We came to this place because it said awesome base or epic base or something along those lines on the map that we have, because people place markers. And as you can see, it shows you the potential for it right there. I'm not quite sure if this was constructed or if it was pre-put in. I have a feeling it was it was already in the map before someone put Wasteland on, because I didn't see any more bricks or objects, at least not that many lying around in my time on the Wasteland mission file itself on this map. So while we were flying around exploring the island, Anthony spotted this other helicopter from the distance, and we went down and got it, and he's flying there. As you can see, he's quite dead looking. It's the glitch I was on about, but I thought I'd put this clip in to have a look at the instruments in the actual cockpit itself. They're quite well done. They all measure out like as they would in real life, I assume. You got your gauges, your, like, how would you say, levels. I'm no flight expert, but that looks pretty good to me. I also noticed earlier on when you went first person in cars that there were mirrors, and they give you proper reflections. I don't play in first person often, but for more hardcore players this would be a welcome benefit, I would imagine. Just thought it was worth a mention. So I thought I'd round up my video with me just showing you guys how I managed to get around the actual gun acquisition mechanism problem that I've been having. You'll see me happen, but I'll also be talking about my hopes and what I want from Arma 3 as a game. I hope the modding community really gives it a go. The base game is great, but I always find that the base game of any game only gets me so far, and then I just lose interest in the game, and modding from what I've experienced on the PC platform, has always gave me more longevity in the game, and I really like, if I like a game, I want to play it, but if it's the same old, it gets boring after a while. It's the same reason I stopped playing DayZ as much as I did. I played it for about 6 months from release in March or something like that, in the 11th of March I think it was, could have been the 13th, one of those 2 dates, and I've been playing it since then, all the way up to like November or something like that, and it just became so dominated by hackers and script kiddies, and it was just no fun to play anymore. So when Lewis discovered this this mission file, Wasteland, I was like, sweet, gotta have a go at that, and I did, and I've loved it. It's been great fun. It's like, I loved the idea of building bases and stuff, and I really hope that they give it a go in, they give it a real go in this mod, or in this Arma 3. It'll be brilliant if they can pull it off right, because the base game, from what I've played of it, I really like it. It's a major improvement on what Arma 2 was, and I just thought, I have to say it, I love the idea of getting your own attachments on these guns, and the way you pull them on and off in the base game, not talking about the mod now, is actually really good, and it's handy. While I'm sure there's some purists out there who said, oh, you have to screw on the suppressor and fix the sights properly, and flicking it over and attaching it it's too easy or whatever, but I don't know, I like it as a gamer's point of view. I'm a fan of it. Okay, so I felt like I couldn't leave the video without me at least shooting at something. I mean, it's a war simulator, for Christ's sake, so I felt obliged to have me shooting this gun that I finally managed to manufacture, create, put together, scavenge, if you will. And this SUV freaking armored truck thing comes out of nowhere in the middle of what we thought was a pretty secure area. I was with a bunch of randoms, and something unloaded on that. It could have been the truck behind me, I'm not sure, but eventually it gets blown up down the hill here a bit. It might have crashed into one tree too many. It looks like, well, that's what happened to me. And I go down to see what's going on with the body, and it occurs to me that now, like as you can see right now, it would be a good time to use the new tactical movement thing, a thing which I fucking love in this game. His body scared the shit out of me right there. And yeah, that new tactical movement system where you can actually move and hold your gun up and switch between it is great. It takes a bit of getting used to, I have to say it. Straight off the bat, I wasn't so sure about it, but after about 5 hours of using it, I approve. That guy didn't have a tag, so I was a bit confused at the time. Looking back at it now, I can clearly see he didn't have one, but at the split second, I just saw a guy with no tag coming right at me, so I went full auto on him. Sorry, buddy. It happens. So here's just another clip of me getting into some combat, roughly around where I was the last time. This guy in a ATV quad bike just goes by. I can hear him through my headset, and I just thought this would be a good clip to show just how much better this game is in first person, in a shooter's perspective, in his favor, at least, anyway, is what I'm trying to say. It's much better, it's much more shooting friendly, I feel. I mean, Arma 2, it was okay, it was good, it wasn't bad by any stretch, but it didn't feel fluid to me. Maybe that's just me, but this feels a lot more user friendly, per se, to shoot away at things. The guns feel great when you're aiming. I'm pretty sure I heard Dyslexie say there's no more mouse hardware acceleration or some kind of mouse acceleration, and that's always a plus. And I just thought I could play in Arma 2. I prefer to fight in third person. In this, I would gladly, if it was a first person only game, I would gladly play this game in only first person. The only real reason I like playing in third person anyway is to see my character, because I don't know, I acquire all the gear, I like it to look good. So as you can see, I get into a little semi mid-range long range combat with this guy, This is where the red dot really shines. Take him out with that last bullet there. Albeit when I get to the guy, I'm pretty sure all he has is a pistol, and when I get to his car, he has a gun in it. But it's nothing special. I don't know. He didn't really stand a chance there. I'm pretty sure with that pistol he wasn't going to take me. I don't know. He probably didn't quite see me. One thing I did notice about this game is when I was playing it, I don't know why I just shot him there, making sure he was dead. I didn't look at the feed, I guess. Looking at this game, it can, if you're not keeping your eye out, it can be really easy for someone to lay an ambush on you. All the foliage makes camo gear so nice and beneficial. I can only imagine the kind of ambushes that will happen in Wasteland if someone knows another team's route or something. Here I'm just like taking off attachments and trying to put them on the other one. I didn't quite realize that the only thing I could put on was the scope and an IR strobe or something. I was here trying to take it off the ground. It took, like the Wasteland, it depends on the server, and sometimes it takes a while for, like the Wasteland on Arma 2 is what I meant. It takes time for weapons to appear and stuff on the floor, so even though they're there, they might not be there in the game. So there you go. The server gets shut down now in a second. This was Josh's server. His game crashed, if I remember right. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I mean, I hope you're as excited as I am for Arma 2 or Arma 3 Wasteland, even though it's on alpha. It's promising, to say the least. It looks great. As you can see there, I tried to put on the sound suppressor. It didn't quite work because there was no option. And that's when his game crashed and I got kicked out of the lobby. Alright guys, that's all. Arma 3, god damn, I'm so used to saying Arma 2. Arma 3 Wasteland is a thing. Hope you've enjoyed the video. I'll see you in the next one.